The Nokia Sugar Bowl Classic on Fox Sports Net is brought to you by Nokia, connecting people.
Jackson Square in New Orleans, Louisiana. It is a cold, crisp night here. A little threat of rain, but inside the New Orleans Arena, right next to the Superdome. Beautiful weather. Oregon State versus LSU. Game 2 of our doubleheader. That was Marcus Johnson and Dan McLaughlin. I'm Ron Thulin. Let's take a look at the starting lineups in tonight's ball game. Of course, LSU coming in at 7-1. Oregon State riding a 2-game win streak at 6-5 under first-year head coach Ritchie McKay. The 35-year-old, third head coaching position in his career. You can see what he did at Colorado State the last 2 years. He took that program, made it what it is today in that 2 seasons, and he has been feeling under the weather. In fact, on the plane trip coming over here, he got sick, and they were very concerned about him. And boy, today at the shoot-around, he was downing the Gatorade rather quickly, shall we say.
It was Day of the Living Dead for Ritchie McKay. He did not look good, but he's got the adrenaline flowing now. He looks pretty good.
And there's John Brady, the head coach of LSU in his 4th year, 10th overall. An absolutely solid basketball coach. Has his hands full this year with only 6 scholarship players. Now let's take a look at the Oregon State starting lineup. And we will have Brian Bashera, first of all, or LSU, I should say, starting lineup. Brian Bashera, Dupre, and Temple will be in the front court. And the guards for LSU. And things have changed a little bit in this guard lineup because Taurus Bright and Lamont Roland usually start. They will not start because they have violated team rules, and in their place, it'll be Jermaine Williams and Charlie Thompson. Is Charlie Thompson, the freshman, getting his first start for head coach John Brady?
Broke curfew, I understand, those two guys. It's New Orleans. What do you want?
I'm telling you.
Curfew.
That doesn't seem like it would be hard to do here.
Curfew, smurfew.
And anyway, they are sitting out to start the game. And Oregon State in their black and LSU in their white, trimmed, of course, with the purple and the yellow. Here's Thompson. Josh Steinhaller on him. Williams giving it up to Bashera.
Bashera at 6'8" is more of an outside presence. Ronald Dupree at 6'6" is really the center on the floor for LSU.
Nice movement. Temple has to give it up. Bashera with 6 to shoot. Almost has his pocket picked and then does. First turnover of the ball game. LSU very careful with the basketball. Only about 14 turnovers a game.
Very deliberate on that offensive possession. I mean, they went about 25 to 30 seconds before even looking to make a move toward the basket.
Adam Maston back on top to Steinthal. DeAndre Tanner, his jumper won't go. Rebound controlled by LSU. Last year, LSU 28-6, first in the SEC West. 3 starters returned from that team. Is the second turnover for the Tigers.
And John Brady letting Ronald Dupree know about it, telling him to pass the basketball in their motion offense. Don't look to get greedy early.
Here is DeAndre Tanner, the senior out of Inglewood, California. Almost left this Oregon State Beaver team. Coach Mackey took over after Eddie Payne was relieved of his duties. Now the starting lineups for Oregon State. We see Jackson, Heide, Tanner, Steinthal, and Maston. LSU, Bashera, Dupre, Temple, Williams, and Johnson.
See how long Coach Brady goes without his 2 regular starters. A couple more turnovers. Wouldn't be surprised to hear the horn blow and those 2 guys checking in.
Tanner, the second leading scorer on this Beaver team, just averaging under 12 points a ball game.
Yeah, but Tanner just 5 for 22 his last 3 ball games. He's had a lot of trouble finding the basket, getting quality looks.
Heide, a nice move inside the basket. Good ball fake for the senior for Issaquah Washington.
A very, very efficient basketball player. He has no trouble finding the basket. He's shooting about 62% for the season, and a lot of those are medium-range jump shots. Not a lot of power dunks and inside stuff for him.
Bashera, a nice pass on the inside. They can't finish it up, and Jason Heide with a rebound.
That's the kind of look you want to get Ronald Dupree. He is an outstanding leaper at 6'6", able to elevate up and over the defense to get himself some pretty decent looks.
Oregon State team 13-16 last year. In fact, the last 3 years they won 13 games. Eddie Payne had a nice job, did a solid foundation for this team as Heide keeps it alive. Inside, shot won't go. Rebound controlled by LSU. Collis Temple the third, tiptoeing to try to keep his feet. Bashara for three, buries it.
One Bryant with the air ball. The other Bryant knocks down his first three-point attempt. Again, he's 8th all-time in career three-pointers made for LSU, and moving up, he can shoot the ball with range for a guy his size at 6'8".
Now Oregon State spreading it out offensively. 4 starters returned from that team that finished 8th in the Pac-10 last year.
They use Jason Heide, the big guy at the free throw line, just doing a lot of brush picks for their smaller players before he finally settles down into the post. They too are running a lot of time off the clock, being very deliberate.
Heide inside, gets the nice roll, and Jason Heide now with 4 in the ball game. He leads the Beavers in scoring at 13.6. And it's a 4-3 lead early on. Just about 3 minutes gone by here in the opening half.
And Bashara should take advantage of Heide on the perimeter. Heide at 6'9", doesn't really like to go out defensively that far away from the basket. Bashara can get him some pretty decent looks at the bucket from long range.
Temple gets a nice screen, lets the 3 go. Rebound controlled by Oregon State and Brian Jackson, and we have a whistle and a foul.
The trademark of Richie McKay coach teams is tough defense. Right now they're 2nd in the nation behind Arkansas. Little Rock in points allowed per game, just under 55. And that's what he did at Colorado State, where he had some major upsets there. Beat UCLA last year. That was major, but you know, I'm a Bruin. Anytime somebody beats my Bruins, to me it's major.
That's exactly right.
It wasn't expected. Let me say that.
Well, Richie McKay, the right man for the job. He took over Portland State, resurrecting their basketball program. The first year he went 9-17. Then he went 15-12. Goes to Colorado State that had lost four starters. Goes 19-11 and 18-12. And of course, he beat Oregon State last year, ironically, when he was at Colorado.
Learned a lot about coaching from Bob Linder, served on his staff at the University of Washington. Played his prep ball, high school basketball in Seattle.
Nice move inside, slashing is DeAndre Tanner.
When things are not going well from the perimeter, as they are not for Tanner, he's well advised to take the ball inside and try and get him some baskets in the paint.
Well, DeAndre Tanner, at times last year, he absolutely shined. 6 games of plus 20 points last season.
A nice jab step, find the angle, find the lane, and where is the backside defense for LSU? Just non-existent for the easy 2 for Tanner.
Jermaine Williams way out front, the junior from Baton Rouge. Bashara with the 3. Tanner with the rebound, playing some inspired offense and defense right now. They are relying a lot on this young man. Flashing to the basket, Brian Jackson.
That's the Brian Jackson that we saw some of last year when he was Pac-10 all-freshman team. Nice job of going to his left and finishing.
LSU coming right back. Ronald Dupree, the sophomore out of Biloxi, Mississippi, with his first 2.
Dupree having a terrific season, 19 points, and almost 9 rebounds a game for the sophomore.
Josh Steinthal with the 3. He rattles it home.
Steinthal can shoot it. You go beneath the screen like they did that time defensively, he is going to exact the price from you, and that price is usually 3 points.
69% of his shots are from behind the arc. Bashara, he drains his second 3 of the game and 13th of the year.
Things have been a little bit tougher on Brian this year because, again, no Stromile Swift, no Jabari Smith inside, so they can hug him a little bit more on the perimeter. But tonight he's got the big guy, Jason Heide, on him, and he's taking advantage of it.
Steinthal's 3 again, and the senior out of Sumner, Washington, has 6 points in the early going.
Yeah, I like Steinthal. He's a smart player. He's not overly athletic, but he knows his limitations, stays within those limitations, and he can bury the long-range jump shot.
Now we're seeing the new LSU offense. Last year they were 4 inside, 1 out. Now they're 4 outside, 1 in. John Brady telling us that most of his players have bought into their new roles and are starting to believe in this system.
And at one end is Ronald Dupree, who does a lot of his work. There's 19 points a game coming from inside the paint, just like that.
He gets bumped, hangs in the air, still gets the shot. Dupree with 4 in a ball game, and he'll go to the line for 1 more.
Basket by number 12, Ronald Dupree.
14-10 is our score. 14-11 left to play in the opening half.
So John Brady, the coach at LSU, about 5.5 minutes of bench time for one of his players, Lamont Rowland, before he's back in the game. Didn't start him because of a team rule violation. But Dupree, very active basketball player offensively, and again, great athleticism, great hops, strong finisher.
Lamont Roland, number 43, the senior out of New Albany, Indiana. Had a great year last season. Played very well versus Oklahoma State in the Nokia Sugar Bowl Classic last year. Heidi sees the double from Bechara. Almost throw it away. Dupree has it. Lost it. Got it back again.
A lot of contact inside on Brian Jackson. Richie McKay wondering, where is the foul?
Dupree looking for Williams.
Where are the new points of emphasis that you guys have been talking about so much?
I thought we were allowed to touch people. Rolling on the inside, and he walked with it, just got his hand underneath the basketball. We've got a shootout in the early going with 13:35 to play in the half, and the Beavers lead the Tigers by 4.
Jack, welcome to Signs and Stuff and Things.
Yeah, I got this spicy chicken sandwich with just the right amount of spice, and it's served hot because we won't make it till you order it. But here's the big thing. It's real chicken breast. You got a sign like that? No. 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 No! Real chicken breast! How do you stay in business?
How fast can I get a Chipmunk tube top sign?
With the freedom of America's best warranty, you'll own the road for 10 years. And during Hyundai's Own the Road celebration, you can drive home a 2001 Accent with all the features you want.
I don't have to worry about my car because I'm covered under the 10-year warranty.
The warranty lasts 10 years. The sale doesn't. Hurry in. Test drive the Accent today.
We're rushed quite often. A lot of times it's a snap decision that, what are we doing for dinner? We can always pop in and count on a great meal coming from Izzy's.
I love the salad bar. Izzy's is very nutritional.
Sometimes the plates are too small.
The pizza at Izzy's is great.
If you want taco pizza, you can just go ask the people out there and they'll put a taco pizza on for you.
It only cost me about $13 for my son and I to have dinner here.
I only had 3 pieces of chicken today at Izzy's.
Everybody can find something they like to eat.
Izzy's is an extremely affordable place.
We'll be back.
For a skinny guy, I can eat a lot.
Happy holidays from Fox Sports Net.
Both teams shooting hot from the field, but Oregon State with a 4-point advantage with 13:35 left in the half. Just a reminder, coming up tonight following this ball game, the National Sports Report for most of you around our nation, featuring news and opinions and highlights. And, of course, they'll have John Madden, Matt Millen, Bill Moss talking about the AFC. Jim Rome will have his takes of the year and the year in review, part number 3. And what an interesting year it has been in the world of sports. You think of Lance Armstrong, what he's done, Michael Jordan, what he's done, John Brady, what he did last year for this LSU team. They won 28-6. Lost in the Sweet 16 last year. A little pressure now put out by LSU. He drags the foot, couldn't get the big body. All 6'10", 260 of them to stop.
Momentum carrying him just a little too quickly in the direction he did not want to go and couldn't put on the brakes.
Richie McKay, the coach of Oregon State, did not like it. He didn't like that call.
Straight man-to-man defense for Oregon State. Trying to cut down on some of this efficiency of LSU. 4 for 7 from the field here in the early going.
Williams giving it up on top. Thompson, the freshman, driving baseline. Wisely dishes it off. Roland, Dupree for 3. Buries the tray.
That's a nice looking jump shot by Ronald Dupree. Just had made 4 of 12 3-pointers coming into this game. He doesn't shoot a lot of them, but he continues to stroke it like that. He's going to get a lot more looks from long range and a lot more of a green light from his coach to do so.
I don't think there's any doubt that he's made the biggest jump as far as improvement on this ball club.
Yes, I mean, he is their guy. He's the man for this basketball team now.
Tanner hangs in the air, can't get it to roll, hands above the rim. Loose ball foul is going to go against Oregon State.
And speaking of Ronald Dupree, I mean, you always hear the saying, the best thing about freshmen is that they become sophomores.
That's
and,
right.
The game gets a lot clearer, and their roles get a lot clearer.
Well, Taurus Bright is checked in for Charlie Thompson. We are at the New Orleans Arena in New Orleans, Louisiana for the Nokia Sugar Bowl Classic. Oregon State taking on LSU along with Marcus Johnson, Dan McLaughlin. I'm Ron Thunen. We're glad you're with us. Game number 1 won by Florida, 103-85 as they took care of the Tulane team. That's called an emphatic slam by Dupree.
That's some of that boost I was referring to earlier. I mean, off of 2 feet, catches the pass in the lane. and just like a rocket, explodes into the cup.
Boy, he does have leaping ability. That's all they talk to us about is how high and quickly this guy gets up.
Yep.
Heidi in traffic, lost it.
That's tough defense. Good weak side help by Brian Bashara. Heidi makes the turn. The defender's there, coughs up the basketball.
Roland's three off to the right side, right into the hands of Brian Jackson.
And Roland coming off the bench, he's not accustomed to that. He's a little kind of disjointed right now. He's not really into a nice flow offensively. Doesn't need to be as aggressive shooting the basketball. Find your rhythm. Don't let your rhythm find you.
Jackson way out front. Maston looking for help. Tanner finally comes out. Shot clock at 12.
That's one reason Oregon State keeps scores low, because they do not shoot it quickly. They take a lot of time off the shot clock.
Well, Jackson just had a $10 bill taken out of his wallet. Here is Lamont Roland, the senior out of Indiana. A little inconsistent as far as shooting the basketball. But this is the first game he did not start this year. We have a timeout on the court. Jimmy Haywood will come in for Oregon State after the break. But it is Dupree checking in with 9 first-half points. LSU by
1. Get the power of 3, the Intel Pentium 3 processor.
It's GMC's year-end advantage. Time to take advantage of professional-grade engineering. Like Chuck Bazzina's smart braking system on Sierra that comprehends weight and balances braking, designed to give the driver unsurpassed control. But perhaps the biggest year-end advantage are the numbers on Sierra, engineered by this guy. Now get as low as 1.9% APR financing on any 2001 Sierra 4-door extended cab. Hurry, offer ends January 2nd.
It's the biggest week in Northwest College football history, and your 11 p.m. regional sports report is on the scene. We'll be in San Diego for live coverage from the Holiday Bowl as the Ducks prepare to take on Texas. We'll be live at the Fiesta Bowl as the Beavers prepare for Notre Dame in the biggest game in school history. We'll be live at the Rose Bowl as the Huskies prepare to battle Purdue in the granddaddy of them all. Don't miss the 11 p.m. regional sports report, your #1 source for Northwest Bowl coverage.
Welcome back to Fox Sports Net's coverage of the Nokia Sugar Bowl Classic from New Orleans, Louisiana. And what would New Orleans be without a shot of a riverboat going down the mighty Mississippi? Perfect timing with the old horn. Along with Marcus Johnson, I'm Ron Thula. Dan McLaughlin is our host tonight. LSU fans in full support. There's a buzz in New Orleans. Of course, the New Orleans Saints playing in a playoff game on Saturday. Then you have the Sugar Bowl game with Miami and Florida. No love lost between those two, plus the Sugar Bowl Classic basketball. And LSU's been hot. 5 of the last 6, making 5 of the last 7. Dupree tracking down the loose basketball.
And that includes a couple 3-pointers, a slam by Dupree inside, a little bit of everything for LSU.
Including an offensive foul by Ronald Dupree. One thing Oregon State has had some problems with the last couple of games, they have been in a shooting slump, and that is something that really has concerned Richie McKay.
Well, I mean, you know, they bottomed out with a season low 35% effort against Wyoming, just 17 for 49 over the last 5 games. They're down to 41%. You take Jason Heide out of the equation, they go down to 35%. So this is the game that definitely hasn't been able to shoot straight up until now over the last 5 games. They're hoping to snap out of that against LSU.
Well, they're over 50% right now, but only once in the last 6 games have they been over 44%. Another turnover. Bright, Bashara to the hole. It goes.
Yeah, nice job running the floor by Brian Bashara, getting out and going. But then watch the trap inside. Just a nice aggressive trap there is going to cause the turnover by Jason Heide, and then just a great 2-on-1. You see Bashara running the middle of the floor, gets the nice feed, the left-hand finish inside.
And he made the free throw, the senior out of Dallas, Texas. He wanted a leadership role coming into this game, and into the season, and he has gotten it. And Chris Manker, the freshman out of Laguna Beach, California, has checked into the lineup. Jason Heide will take a break. Manker is 6'10", 210 pounds. Pressure put on by LSU.
Yeah, LSU extends full court, 1-2-1-1 full court pressure, trying to speed up the pace of this basketball game. They realize Oregon State, a very deliberate team. They want the quick shot.
Jimmy Haywood slashes to the hole with the right hand, scoops it up and under.
Yeah, that's a nice move. That's the shot you want. You want them to get out of their comfort zone, take shots they're not accustomed to. But Haywood is a nice. Ooh!
Right with a great look inside to Dupree, and Dupree now with 11 in the ball game.
I love a 6'6" guy that can boost and jump and dunk like that, especially off the vert. Doesn't need a running start to do it. Just catch and go up and dare you to jump with him.
Played all 34 games last year as a freshman. He's one of those where the light came on halfway through the season. Bright, nice job just kicking the ball away. Well, Richie McKay doesn't want it to be this easy for LSU.
Yeah, here's Dupree inside, gets the pass, and Manker wants no part of that. He swings at it, but kind of half-heartedly. Nice job by Ronald Dupree inside.
Nice inbounds pass. Steinthal can't complete it. Here comes LSU on the run. 4-on-3 if they hurry. He's swinging around to Bright. Steinthal covering him up. Closing in on 9 minutes to play in the half.
Oregon State straight 2-3 zone now. Trying to lock up the inside.
Dupree's turnaround won't go. Tanner with the board. Quickly up front to Jimmy Haywood, lets it fly. 5 white jerseys around the basketball, not 1 black jersey around the ball after the shot.
As much as Richie McKay, the Oregon State coach, likes to play deliberate basketball, you got to feel like that's a rush shot on the part of Jimmy Haywood. He gave him a glare that would cut through stone.
Well, the rest of his teammates weren't down the court yet, and he is going to go to his bench as Mike Coakley takes off the uniform. Richie McKay in his first year at Oregon State. With more on him, here's Dan McLaughlin.
Well, guys, we know it can be very tough at this level to be a head coach. It's been especially tough for that man, Richie McKay, as you mentioned, Ron, in his first season. 9 players have either been sick, injured, or ineligible for this season. It got so bad that even the head coach was sick tonight in our visit during the halftime of the first game. He also sprained his hand during the Oklahoma game. It also got so bad that their commercial flight was delayed 9 hours from Denver to Oregon. Just some of the trials and tribulations of a Division I head coach.
But Dan, my favorite, one of their managers was knocked out when he got hit in the head with a basketball during practice.
Yeah, the players had their apartments burglarized on a extended road trip away from home. It's a definite black cloud. Hanging over them early. They're hoping to shake it, though.
Trying to stop a 12-2 run by LSU, and DeAndre Tanner does it with the 3, his first of the ball game. He has 5, and the lead now is cut down to 1. Good basketball game so far.
Now Dupree working on the perimeter. And they're letting bigger player occupy a spot in the post.
Rowland had no place to go. Broke cardinal rule number 1. Got up in the air, wasn't shooting. Had nothing to do.
Fortunately got bailed up. Here's DeAndre Turner out of Inglewood High School. Senior for Oregon State. Knocking down the 3. Nice dribble handoff. Nice offensive action by Oregon State overall.
The 3 goes down by Temple. Temple's 12th of the year.
Collis Temple the 3rd.
And Brian Jackson is hurt underneath the basket. Looks like they came down on his shoulder. He doesn't want the trainer to look at it.
Did he wave him off?
I think he did.
But here's Collis Temple the 3rd. Trey knocking down the Trey. Collis Temple the 2nd. His father was the first African-American ball player to play at LSU. Recruited by Press Maravich, the father of the former great Pete Maravich, and then played his basketball 4 years for Dale Brown down at LSU.
Well, Collis the 3rd is taken also not only the athletic ability, but the brains of his family. He is an academic All-SEC. That is just a brain cramp. You got to keep your eyes on the basketball. Manker just could not keep his hands on it. Well, Bashir and Dupree have really controlled the scoring up until that last basket. Temple, that was the first basket by somebody other than those 2. And it'll belong to LSU. We have a timeout. 7:33 to play in the first half. LSU has taken over the lead. They lead it now by 4. And the Tigers looking to go 8-1 on the year. Something to cheer about, but still plenty of time left.
Hey, how was your business trip to Chicago?
Good. How was your week off?
Great. My friends and I went to the beach.
Really?
Yeah, we rented from Hertz.com. Found their best rates, special offers, and it was really easy to use, too.
Maybe we should try it this weekend.
We.
Welcome to Transmegalith, 268th floor, Information Services Division.
Yes?
We're from Luftgarten. We provide enterprise IT consulting.
T?
ERP, CRM, and ASP management.
Cake?
24/7 apps hosting.
I already have one company for every application my division needs.
How's that possible?
I have Quest.
Communications to change everything. Ride the light. Quest.
At Nokia, we've discovered that adjusting the color of your phone can be this easy. With Express On color covers for the Nokia 5100 series wireless phone. Nokia. Connecting people.
Well, for LSU, the story is quite simple for their 4-point lead. Ronald Dupree and Brian Bechara have 21 of their 23 points. And here's Dupree.
Yeah, first from the outside, the three-pointer. Then it's all about the jam. As he gets a nice feed inside. The jam. Another nice feed inside. And this kid, Ronald Dupree, just a sophomore. What an athlete. What a boost, as the young people like to say. You ever heard that term, boost? That means you can jump high. A boost.
Well, you can see the scoring right now. How about 20 for those two? 3 for the rest of the team. And the rest of the team is Collis Temple III with the three-pointer.
Yeah, but just a matter of time before Lamont Roland and Taurus Bright, two double-figure scorers, also get into a flow. These two guys didn't start.
And don't forget that this LSU team has only 6 scholarship players. Bright from the outside. You almost called it, big fella. Jimmy Haywood with a rebound. Haywood a little out of control. They're calling that a kick. Wow. White actually looked like he got it with his hand at first, didn't he?
Must have, on the rebound action, gone off his foot, but he did a great job getting low, getting his hands right into that passing lane on a bounce pass attempt. That's not easy to do.
Patient offense again by the Beavers.
But you see the zone by LSU, but they are extending the zone way out to about 30 feet, and they're going to put some pressure and try and force Oregon State to play at a little quicker tempo than what they want. Oregon State's content to work it to about 10 seconds and then get in their offense.
Deandra Tanner has to give it up. The 3 on the way. Aston can't find the range, and LSU will have the basketball.
And that's the chance you take when you employ that kind of deliberate offensive style. You're not going to get decent looks when you wait till about 10 seconds. College guys just have a tendency to panic. Pro guys know the shot clock. When it's down to 5, they know they have plenty of time. College guys, they see that 10-second mark of the shot clock and usually will take a forced or rush shot in that kind of a situation.
Well, Jackson and Steinthal have checked back in for Oregon State. Closing in on 6 minutes to play in the first half. Oregon State led early. LSU has taken the lead. They had a 12-2 run, which sort of opened things up. Temple for 3 is second of the ball game.
That's a nice looking stroke. Nice bit of ball movement. Nice job of exploiting the zone of Oregon State.
Came up huge in the SEC tournament this past season. Temple did. Had 20 versus Vandy. Steinthal covered up quickly. Temple playing some good hustling defense. Steinthal has to give it up. Heidi's shot won't go. Offensive rebound. Tanner to the hole. Thought he was fouled. The tip will go. Ryan Jackson.
Yeah, nice job, Jack. Now, Jackson was injured about 3 or 4 minutes ago. Didn't want to leave the ball game. Came back in the game, and now he got a nice offensive rebound and a nice tip in. So he's made himself a presence.
And the lead is down to 5. Nice pump fake, rolling up in the air. Connect.
Reminiscent of the Big O. Oscar Robertson used that shoulder to ward off the defender, and then you got a wide open look at the basket. Nice job by Lamont Rowland. But again, the zone defense extended way out for LSU. You want to try and force this Oregon State team into a quicker tempo than they want to play. But so far, they're not biting.
Shot clock again inside of 15. Steinfeld to Heide. Again from the left baseline. Can't finish it up. Rebound control, Dupree.
Not going to get a much better look than that. And they did a nice job moving it around. Heide just blew an opportunity, an easy opportunity for him because he's a good medium-range jump shooter.
Temple's 3. Heide the rebound. Foul is going to be called against LSU. That'll be on Jason Wilson, the junior. That'll be his first personal. Now the last word, and Jim Rome tells it like it is on the Nightline of Sports talk shows weeknights at 6:30 and 11:30 p.m. on Fox Sports Net. Check your local listings. Of course, Jim, you may not agree with him, but he does make you think. He interviews the biggest names in sports and asks them what you want to know. The last word with Jim Rome. Three-point shooting so far, LSU 5 of 12. Oregon State at 50%. Oregon State on the season about 33%. LSU about 37%. I mentioned the Big O. How big of a thrill was that for the two of us last week at the Pete Newell Classic? And Oscar Robertson was there and had a chance to talk to Oscar and Jerry West. Yep. Doesn't get much better than that along with Pete Newell. My goodness. Daryl Imhoff was also there, part of that 60 Olympic team.
You throw in Adrian Smith, who was the
MVP
of the 1966 All-Star game. He won the car.
And the game itself, of course, was unbelievable as Stanford came back from a 15-point Duke lead with about 6:43 to play and held them to 1 field goal the rest of the way. Tanners has his shot rejected by Bechara. That's Bechara's only his 4th block of the year. Rowland giving it up. Traveling call. It looked good, but it won't count.
Got the running start. Dallas Temple didn't. They blew an opportunity to capitalize off a good defensive play by Brian Bechara. DeAndre Turner going to turn the corner. There's Bechara. Weak side help. Get that shot out of here.
You know, that's ironic that we're talking about shot blocking because one of the problems LSU might face this year in the SEC is they don't have that dominant shot blocking.
You lose 2 guys, the quality of Stromile Swift and Jabari Smith. Our interior defense is going to suffer.
Well, we have a close game inside of 4 minutes. The lead is just 7 for LSU.
Welcome.
Nice place. Is that Evander Holyfield?
Pardon? It's kind of a funny story. Lassie saved my life, so...
And there's you and Marilyn Monroe.
Yeah, she's great. What a cook.
Wish you could add a little something to your photographs? Now on Gateway Digital Photo PC includes a digital camera and free printer, all for $1,299. Call 1-800-GATEWAY.
Nuts?
Do I look like Puffy?
There are people out there who want you dead.
On January 12th, make the switch.
There's not gonna be any Rodney Kings going on.
See the sights.
What is up with your eyes?
And get ready for the ride of your life.
How you doing, sisters?
It's their first time on a train.
It's a first time for everything.
Double Take, rated PG-13, starts Friday, January 12th.
He's been voted the most powerful on-air personality in sports. He's larger than life. He sparked a passion taking the country by storm. And the Sporting News says he's generated more buzz than Oprah Winfrey and Larry King. He's arguably the hippest, freshest, funniest sports talker working today.
You're underpaid. There's no question about that.
That is some serious smack. Jim Rome, the last word. Weeknights at 6:30 and 11:30 on Fox Sports Net. Welcome to the jungle.
A 23-8 run for LSU. They lead at 28-21. Just over 3 minutes to go in our first half. I'm Dan McLaughlin. Welcome back to New Orleans. Coming up at the half, we'll have a Fox Sports News update. You don't want to miss that with all the news and highlights and opinions coming up from the Fox Network Center. Also, we'll profile Lauren Woods, the 7-foot center from Arizona. An outstanding player. He has a chance to win the Wooden Award. We'll talk about that at the half, and also highlights and stats. All coming up at the half on Fox Sports Net.
All right, thanks very much. As we look at Ronald Dupree, the sophomore out of Biloxi, Mississippi. He has checked in with 11 points in the ball game so far here in the first half. And we have inside of 4 minutes. Marcus Johnson by my side. The lead is 7 for LSU.
Again, Oregon State zone defense forcing LSU to continue to fire up jump shots, hoping that they start to cool off.
We saw some hops by DeAndre Tanner. Talent-wise, I don't think there's any question he is one of the best in the Pac-10. I think it's the mental side of the game that may get the best of him at times.
I had to go through a coaching change from Eddie Payne to Richie McKay. Learn a whole new system. Thought about transferring, but had a change of mind and decided to stick it out.
I think Coach McKay convinced him of his guard philosophy. Shot inside by Brian Jackson, rebounded by Bashira. Slashing inside, no place to go. Dupree kicks it back out. Bashira thought about it. Right for 3, and that is a bright shot. His 17th from beyond the arc.
And that's the one thing you have to look at if you're Oregon State. And, you know, you're down 7 going into that shot, and with no offensive contribution from Torres Bright or Lamont Roller whatsoever, you know that's not going to hold true the entire ball game.
Monte Jernigan is checked in, number 2, the sophomore out of El Cerrito, California. And here comes LSU, 3-on-2, trying to get a little too cute.
That was great defense on the back door by Torres Bright, who did a good job of not only locating the backdoor cutter down to Tanner, but keeping an eye at the passer to intercept the ball, get a hand on it.
Sean McKay wants to talk about it. His team is down by 10.
A computer won't do anyone much good if it never gets out of the box. So now, when you buy from Gateway, you can also have it installed by us. Start with a Gateway Essential PC with an Intel Celeron processor for just $799 and add on installation, orientation, or even training. Call 1-800-GATEWAY. Technology's great, but in Gateway country, people rule.
Do I look like Puffy?
There are people out there who want you dead.
On January 12th, make the switch.
There's not gonna be any Rodney Kings going on.
See the sights.
What is up with your eyes?
And get ready for the ride of your life.
How you doing, sisters?
It's their first time on a train.
It's a first time for everything.
Double Date, rated PG-13, starts Friday, January 12th.
Well, the LSU cheerleaders are on hand, and they have something to cheer about as their team is up by 10, 31-21, inside of 2.5 to play in the opening half. Oregon State has not had much luck when they have trailed at halftime this year. They've trailed in 4 games this season, and they have lost all 4. That may be an omen, but there's still plenty of time left.
Oregon State trying to change a lot of things tonight. They had not been shooting the ball well the last 5 or 6 ball games. Doing a better job tonight. And maybe they could come back from a halftime deficit, but they're going to need a lot more contributions than what they're getting, especially from Jason Heide. Has been pretty much a non-factor and has had some pretty decent looks.
They've only scored 7 points in the last 12 minutes. That is not good. Their shooting percentage was about 58%. It's just around 40% now. It's gradually going down. Shooting slump doesn't seem like it's completely ended yet. 3 to shoot. Tanner tries to get one more pass in there.
Why?
That's exactly right. Why?
You hear your coaching staff, your teammates yelling that the shot clock is winding down. He did a decent...
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, he got away with an offensive foul. He pushed the guy off to clear some space for himself, and then tried to force a pass, an interior pass with a lot of bodies in between he and the intended receiver. Shoot the ball. It's an 8-foot jump shot.
Well, this is going to be interesting what the officials do on this, because it was rifling out of bounds right as the shot clock went off. Now they're going to have to try to figure out if and any what time will be on the shot clock. I'll tell you, if it's anything, it's maybe a second.
Yeah, I think they may give them a second. There was a deflection on the intended pass inside, so just it depends on when the ball broke the plane.
Well, let's take a look at it again.
This is reviewable. They can take a look at our monitor if they want to. They can review this with our monitor. You can see the shot clock, 5, 4. Then here's Tanner going to push off with that left arm right there. Get out of here. 3. There's a shot. Deflected. Yeah, no. It's a good 1 second. It's almost.
Well, they're giving him 3, I think. Oh, that's lenient.
No, that's real lenient. 2 at the most, based on the replay we just looked at.
But we have the replay.
Yeah. They've got 35 on the shot clock now. I know that's way too much.
Just a touch. Here we go. I don't think that's. John Brady would not be that calm if that's what was put up on the clock. I guarantee you.
But John Brady was funny at shoot-around. He did not even speak to his guys during the walkthrough, and then came over to us and told us that he was mad at his team, but he couldn't stay mad for long because they only had 6 guys.
That's right. That was one of his great lines. He goes, "You only have 6 guys on scholarship. You can't be mad at him too long." Tanner, we have a whistle.
Yeah,
they didn't start the shot clock.
Tanner tried to do the old trick where you throw the ball off the back of the defender who has his back to you. And once the ball hits the player on the floor, the shot clock should have started. Did not start.
Danny Ainge ran that play better than anybody.
Yep.
He was dynamite at it.
Yeah, I've seen Mark Jackson do it.
Mark Jackson's done it.
And as a defender, you feel like the biggest doofus in the world of basketball.
Because there's nothing you can do.
Yep.
Well, LSU has the ball inside of 150, up by 10. They have been on a big run. Good job defensively on Oregon State. Steinfeld doesn't buy any of the fakes. LSU going nowhere quickly. Rolling forces the pass into Temple. He can't get it to go.
I like the patience of LSU on offense. 2 or 3 times in that possession, guys jumped to shoot a shot, realized that they had a teammate with a better look, pass it off. That teammate that time, Lamont Roland penetrates, finds Collis Temple on the right post. Collis Temple draws the foul. Just good unselfish basketball by LSU.
Now the foul is on Jimmy Haywood. That is his 2nd personal foul. Collis Temple goes to the line. 83% free throw shooter on the year. 2nd leading scorer on this team. Just about 15.5 a contest. He has 6 tonight.
We talked about him being a great student. Just a sophomore, slated to graduate at the end of this summer because of all the summer student classes he's taken. That's remarkable.
That is amazing. The time they put into basketball. Tanner gives it up. They can't complete it as Dupree having a great game on both ends of the court with a rebound.
Oregon State's got to find somebody to score.
Well, Bright found people to score points because that is his 2nd 3 in the ball game.
I talked about it. He and Lamont Roland pretty quiet in this basketball game. Oregon State's still down 10. Just wait till they get heated up. If Oregon State continues to struggle, this thing could get ugly fast.
Now, Taurus Bright, co-freshman of the year in the SEC last year, along with Arkansas's Joe Johnson, showing us why tonight. Didn't start for violating team rules. Dupree over to Roland, up ahead. Bright can't chase us down. Taurus Bright was a scorer in high school. Didn't do much last year, but they want more of it this year.
Yeah, and he's got the green light, and right here, just a walk-up 3-pointer. Josh Steinfeld backs up. Taurus pulls up. Nice form on the jump shot. Buries the jumper.
Pressure put on by LSU inside of 40 seconds.
They kind of token just to make them waste a little time on the shot clock, about a 15-second differential.
Biggest lead of the ball game, and Jimmy Haywood throws it to no one in particular.
Then has the nerve to yell at his teammate about being in the wrong place. But just not a good pass. Just not a terrible offense by Oregon State about the last 8 to 10 minutes of this half.
Yeah, they have really had the wheels come off the old wagon. As the lead is at 14, biggest of the ball game. We still have football coming on Fox Sports Net this Sunday. We've got the first ever Silicon Valley Football Classic. It's the inaugural event with Fresno State and the Air Force Falcons. It all begins Sunday with a pregame show at 6 Eastern, 3 Pacific, only on Fox Sports Net. Check your local listing. Steve Physiak, Tom Ramsey, James Lofton to call the action. Of course, the studio show with Artie Gigantino, Kevin Frazier, and the great one from Missouri, Kellen Winslow. There's Richie McKay. Only the 6th coach for Oregon State since 1929. He is the youngest head coach in the Pac-10 and one of the youngest in the country at 35 years old. Matching Billy Donovan.
Well, too bad he can't suit up.
Yeah.
Give him some offense because they need a boost from somewhere offensively. They're just having trouble scoring, trouble hanging on to the basketball, making the right decisions.
Now they brought Mike Coakley now, number 12, the sophomore guard. Final 8 seconds lost. They get a break. Tanner to the hole. Has it rejected, but we have a foul. Torres Bright took the elevator up about 10 floors on that one.
One LA guy to another LA guy. I'm talking about Los Angeles and Louisiana.
That's good.
DeAndre Turner did a nice job with the strip, but Torres Bright, no quit on the player, and he showed his athleticism by beating up the layup attempt by DeAndre Tanner.
And DeAndre Tanner will get the free throws with 3 seconds left. He is 83% on the year.
Got his high school basketball team, Inglewood, to the state championship game where they lost to perennial power Dominguez.
Inglewood's had some pretty good players. I think of Byron Scott, if I'm not mistaken. Eldon Campbell. I think Eldon Campbell was also from Inglewood.
I think it was a Morningside guy.
Morningside. Oh, he's Morningside.
You're thinking of Reggie Theus, Paul Pierce. Those are some pretty good players also. But Morningside High School also in Inglewood, California.
Tanner gets them both, and we have a whistle and a foul. That was quick. And John Brady's being told to sit down.
Or at the very least stay within the coach's box.
Yeah. Foul was on Steinthal.
I like a coach like John Brady who's very intense but does not take himself too seriously. And you can see he is all beyond the coach's box under the guise of being inquisitive about what's going on at the scorer's table.
I think that's what made it so ironic this morning of watching his practice. Well, let's listen in. Just some of that holiday spirit.
It'll turn that into a sitcom.
He was so quiet in practice today. That's what I think was so almost funny to us, because he is a very intense man and he's an excellent basketball coach.
Yes, he is indeed. But he said he was mad at his team. That's why he said nary a word till the very end.
Well, because of the guys breaking team rules.
Yeah.
Well, they get one of the free throws, rolling with his 3rd point of the game.
We talked about that 7-1 start for LSU, and he said, hey, it's all the coaching.
That's right.
It's all about the coaching.
That's what he tells his AD.
And his agent.
And that'll wrap up the first half. The lead is at 14, 37-23, as Dupree checking in with 11 points in the ball game. Temple has 7. Bright has 6. And Dan McLaughlin is standing by right now with Coach John Brady.
Well, Coach, after a somewhat slow start to start that first half for obvious reasons, you guys really got it going there to end the half.
Well, we're a team that can spurt on people, and we're able to have a little spurt there and be able to separate the score a little bit. But I wasn't pleased with our effort defensively the first 6 or 7 minutes. But since that time, we gave up like 14 points in the first 7 minutes. But since that time, our defense has picked up. We've been able to score off our defense. And I think offensively we got into a little better, more of a rhythm. But you know, to have this kind of lead against a team that's as deliberate as their team in the first half, you know, we got to feel good about where we are. We just got to continue it for the next 20 minutes.
Coach, we saw you a little bit quiet during the shoot-around this morning, but the last few seconds here, pretty animated. What was going on the sideline?
Well, this morning, you know, I was a little upset at my team, so I didn't want to talk to them too much. It was just at the end there, you know, there was a discrepancy in the fouls with what was on the board and what the official book had. But, you know, my opinion is that the coaching staff of the opposing team ought to keep the fouls on their own bench so they know for sure what's going on. So, and that's what it was, a little disagreement. I felt like I had the right to beat the scores table to see what was going on.
Coach, thanks very much, and good luck in the second half.
Okay, thank you.
You bet. That is the 4th-year head coach here at LSU. That is John Brady. LSU leads it over Oregon State 37-23. Coming up at the half, we'll take you to the Fox Network Center for a National Sports Report update. Also, we'll take a look at Wooden Award candidate Lauren Woods of Arizona. LSU 37, Oregon State 23. We're at the half in game 2 of our doubleheader right here on Fox Sports Net. The Nokia Sugar Bowl Classic on Fox Sports Net has been brought to you by Nokia, connecting people.
And New Orleans, Louisiana, we are inside the New Orleans Arena. We are at halftime, and we have a correctable scoring error made It is 35-23 as we start the second half. Lamont Rollins, 2 free throws at the end of the first half did not count. And our leading scorers, Tanner with 7, Dupree with 11 for LSU, and we are underway. One of the things that Richie McKay talked to us about and that he has made public is that he thinks that DeAndre Tanner, I should say, is the one that has to will this team to win. So you would expect him to step up in the second half for the Beavers.
He's got to be more aggressive. Just 2 for 6 from the field in the first half. He had some decent looks, but we saw him force a pass with the shot clock winding down. Those are the kind of shots he's got to take for himself.
Rolling, what a spin move. He dishes it off and Temple finishes.
He does a nice job, and he looks over at us and kind of smiles. He had the curfew violation last night, but he's trying to make up for it. Nice spin, nice pass, good finish by Collis Temple III.
You made sure that Mr. Rowland knew that he shouldn't stay out late at night at halftime.
I said, y'all hung out last night. A little bit.
Heidi on top. Steinthal, he has been quiet this evening. Only 6 points, a couple of threes, and those came in the early going.
And Jason Heidi scored 2 early baskets. He's been extremely quiet, so he's got to be more aggressive shooting the ball.
Well, he launches the 3, and once again, 3 white jerseys surround the ball. Temple giving it up.
But the offensive woes just continue for Oregon State. It's been just a miserable stretch of games about their last 5 or 6 ball games scoring.
Dupree inside, airballs it into the hands of Adam Maston, the junior out of Salem, Oregon. Great all-around player, but he has been quiet tonight.
This Oregon State team, much like Tulane, not a whole lot of depth on that bench, not a whole lot of options for Richie McKay to choose from.
Heidi tries to go inside, and he gets the roll for his 6th point of the ball game.
I mean, keep feeding your big guy. He's got great position inside. He's going against a player in Ronald Dupree, about 6 feet 6 inches tall, so he has the height advantage. He can get some good looks. He's just got to be aggressive, establishing position.
Bright shaking and baking out front, gets it inside. Dupree hangs in the air, count it.
And to the officials' credit tonight, I like some of these non-calls. A lot of officials might have called that a block or charge, but they call it incidental contact. Let it go, let the guys play. Let them have some fun down here in the Big Easy.
Well, for the Beavers of Oregon State, this is the first of 4 straight road games. They've got a tough road to hoe coming up here in the next week or so.
Oregon State running a motion offense, a lot of good screens, a lot of good action, but seems to be some difficulty of understanding what specific roles are offensively. Like you mentioned, DeAndre Tanner, to me, has got to be the guy to look to penetrate, create, take some shots, maybe even force up a couple, but just change his mentality as a player offensively.
Well, the foul was on Dupree. That is his 2nd personal foul. And that will send Brian Jackson to the line. Jackson so far this evening, 4 points in the first half. Small town prep legend was Brian Jackson. Over 2,500 points as a prepster. Was all Pac-10 his freshman year, as Marcus mentioned in the open. Pretty good free throw shooter at 74%. He has kind of struggled the last couple of weeks, as you mentioned.
And struggled big time. A lot of it due to foul trouble. Fouled out 2 of his last 5 games. Had 4 fouls in the other 3. We're talking about DeAndre Tanner. I mean, last year as a junior, 14 points a game. The year before that as a sophomore, 16 points a game, all Pac-10 second team. But he's almost gone in reversed production-wise.
Heidi with the rejection, his 12th of the year. Now Richie McKay talking to his team at halftime. Dan McLaughlin, what were his words of wisdom?
Well, it was simple. Knock down the open shot, something they haven't done. And he said LSU will double on the post. Something that they didn't do in that first half was skip it out. They want to do that to get those open looks.
Well, that was an open look by Taurus Bryce, the sophomore out of Slidell, Louisiana, just outside of New Orleans.
As you mentioned, a terrific scorer in high school. Didn't score a lot last year. And that was a problem for Oregon State. They were down 10, and Bright or Rowland hadn't done anything offensively. Now they are starting to heat up.
Well, Tanner tried to go to the back door. That was quickly closed. Dupree dishing it off. Bouchera hanging, tipping, making.
Nice second effort by Brian Bouchera. Just stays with it, misses the shot under extreme duress from the left side. As a shooter, he knows exactly where the ball is coming off. He is there for the offensive putback.
A 9-3 run to open up the second half for LSU.
And right there, nice pass from Dupree, and watch him. He's going to Maybe get away with a little bit of a travel, but he knows he shot that long, so he's right there for the soft tap back, Brian Bashara. Then on this play, Taurus Bright, I mean, just a hard time getting through the screen for Josh Steinthal. He's got to do a better job of fighting through because Taurus Bright can knock down some outside shots. He's an offensive-minded point guard.
Oregon State has been having problems rebounding the basketball this year. They only average about 28 rebounds a game, which is not very good at this point. But in defense, they only have really one post guy. Lost Philip Ritchie. He has a knee problem. He is out for the year. So Richie McKay's got to find some other big body to help out.
Yeah, Richie redshirting about 6'8", about 250. So he's a space eater, if nothing else, inside that they're lacking. And Brian Jackson out of Napa, Oregon, kind of soft inside, better facing the basket. Doesn't really like to mix it up, especially offensive rebounding. He's a pretty decent defensive rebounder.
Mike Coakley back into the lineup, the little guard also out of Napa, Oregon, a teammate of Brian Jackson in high school. Oh, counted.
He's
Adam Maston.
Much better player than he's shown tonight. Adam Maston averaging about 9 points a game this year. Had a donut in the first half. But the lefty just got to get aggressive. You got nothing to lose right now. Nothing to lose at all. I mean, nice job with the one dribble, the big 1-2. And there's the reach. There's the foul. And there's a nice concentration on the finish.
Well, he's a son of a coach. One of those gym rats, understands the game. Southpaw's free throw goes down. He has 3 in the ball game, averages just a touch under 11, and the lead right now is at 15, 44-29. We have played just about 4 minutes here in the second half. John Brady up off the bench, still talking to the officials.
And Oregon State in somewhat of a 3-2 zone with the back guys being Heidi and Tanner. And the purpose of that, protect the perimeter.
10 to shoot. Rowland with 8 on the shot clock. Better do something. Working on Master. Deep shot, deep in the corner, nicks the rim. They beat the violation. Rebound control by Oregon State. Steinthal plants his feet, pulls the trigger. LSU on the run.
But down 15, Oregon State has got to hurry their offense a bit. They can't afford to be as deliberate as they are accustomed to.
That's the problem with a deliberate team. If you get in a big hole, you have to play out of your realm of comfort in order to try to get back into the game. We have a timeout. The foul was on Jason Heide, his second. We'll be back. LSU Tiger mascot making his rounds around New Orleans Arena, giving some kisses and huggins. We are inside the Nokia Sugar Bowl Classic, Oregon State and LSU. Along with Marcus Johnson, Dan McLaughlin, I'm Ron Thulin. Just a reminder, the last word featuring Jim Rome. He tells it like it is on the Nightline of Sports Talk shows. Weeknights at 6:30 and 11:30 p.m. only on Fox Sports Net. Check your local listings. Of course, on the National Sports Report, Rome gives his best takes tonight. Coming up later on tonight on some of our regionals across the country. 44-29 is our score. LSU looking to go 8-1 on the year. The only blemish on their record, an 88-75 loss to Arizona. And they were in that game for about, well, I'd say about 3/4 of it.
Yeah, Ronald Dupree, an outstanding game, that ball game, and they were there, had the lead early in the second half. Arizona played probably their best game of the season so far.
Foul will be on Temple. That'll be his first personal foul. And Jermaine Williams will check into the lineup. The junior guard out of Baton Rouge, Louisiana, started the game. Had his second start of this young season. Had 5 starts last year. Solid shooter. They like the potential of this young man. 6'6", but he's skinny. Needs a little weight.
We've got 6'8" Brian Bashara on Mike Coakley at 5'8".
And they answer it with DeAndre Tanner dropping down to 3, his second of the ball game.
That's what I mean. Get more aggressive. Take some shots.
Yeah.
You got nothing to lose right now. You're going to lose anyway if you stay passive offensively. You're struggling big time.
And the lead is only a dozen right now. A couple of shots that go down, and you cut the lead into single digits. We saw Tulane with those opportunities in that first game. Could not take advantage. That is a blown opportunity. Dupree missing the slam.
But you gotta like the effort. At the offensive rebound, tried to go up and over the 6'9" Heidi.
Coakley spotting up, and he drains the three. His 7th of the year.
9-point ball game, single digits. LSU's got to regain their composure. Go back inside to Dupree. Dupree has got a smaller man on and give him some work in the post.
Well, their defense took over when Oregon State made a run early. Let's see if their defense can take over now. And we've got a technical foul on John Brady. He has been on the official the entire game, and he's making sure he stands in the coaching box.
There, right there. There's that coaching. See, look at the. He is straddling.
Towing the line.
He's pushing it to the limits right there. The official saying, "Hey, stay in the box." What does he do? He straddles the line, toes the line, as you call it. There's right up to it. Okay.
That'd be a foot fault in tennis, wouldn't it?
Yeah, exactly. That is a definite foot fault.
And Tanner cannot take advantage of the situation. Well, he'll have another.
Got the feet behind the line, but the hands and everything, every other body part's over the line.
But the technical was given when he was way in front of his bench.
Right.
Well, he's not a violation of going over the line.
Yeah, he thought his player Ronald Dupree was fouled by DeAndre Tanner on the jump shot. I think Tanner got a little bit of the arm of Dupree, and that was the reason for the tech, not for violating the coach's box rule.
Now the lead is down to 8. Oregon State has got new life, and they have to take advantage of this right now. Got LSU a little bit of reeling right now. Heidi trying to get position. The three, Tanner buries it.
DeAndre Tanner, now it's a new ball game. The pressure shifts to the LSU side of the court. Oregon State playing a lot freer, a lot looser. Let's see if LSU can respond and not tighten up in this situation.
Rolling for three, can't get it to go. Tanner tipped it right into the hands of Jermaine Williams, who gets the easy two.
And DeAndre Tanner yelling at Josh Steinthal to get back and rebound. That time, Oregon State outmanned on the glass, 3 against 2.
Heidi sees the double from Bashera. Steinthal left open, and he rattles a three. Look out.
Beavers are getting hot right now. Coakley with a three-pointer. Steinthal with a three-pointer. DeAndre Tanner buries a three-pointer. Finally, some offense from Oregon State.
Yeah, and it's a 4-point lead. We said who would take over. It's been by committee. Oregon State told us, some of the players told us today that they practice so hard that when they come to a game, it's actually a little easier. Now Rowland takes offense to what Maston did.
Yeah. Threes to get you right back in it. DeAndre Tanner, nice penetration. There's Mike Coakley towing the sideline, but he's going to knock down a three-pointer. And then DeAndre Tanner, just a walk-up three-pointer. Defender Torres Bright gives him a little bit too much breathing room on the outside. And then Josh Steinthal completes the Tre Punte triumvirate.
That was pretty good. How about this? Jason Heidi now has 3 fouls.
Wow.
That hurts.
Yeah, that hurts big time.
You can see what the Beavers have done in the first half. 3 of 6. Second half, they've made 4 of 6. 4 straight three-pointers.
But Richie McKay gonna rely on the basketball intelligence of Jason Heidi to not pick up that fourth at least for another 5 or 6 minutes.
And then Steinthal battling with Dupree in the left block, and he is whistled for the infraction. That'll be number 2 on him.
Well, I talked about the officials letting a lot of the contact go inside. Now things are getting a little testy, so now it's time to tighten it up a bit. If the officials call some of those bumping, banging fouls inside, that's what we're seeing right now. Just an attempt to clean this thing up before it gets out of hand.
And that's good officiating.
Yeah, it is. Got to know when to let them go, know when to rein them in.
Nice defense by Maston, tipping it away to Coakley, and a technical foul is going to be called against LSU. And they whistle Lamont Rowland for the tee. The second LSU technical in this half. John Brady got his at the 13:51 mark. And now Rowland gets it at the 12:19 mark.
And in terms of momentum, I mean, just not a smart technical foul by Lamont Rowland. I mean, you got to hold your tongue anyway, but Oregon State has tremendous momentum going on. But Rowland upset that the post play just a little too physical for his liking. I mean, I thought it was a pretty decent play by Adam Maston. Yeah, to go bottom side, get a hand on the basketball.
And Tanner now 4 of 5 from the line. 15 points in the ball game, 8 in the second half. He'll have another. And all of a sudden, that big lead LSU had has been whittled down to 2.
That'll wipe the smile off your face.
You got that right. And all of a sudden, Oregon State with the basketball with a chance to tie or even take the advantage. 16-2. Oregon State has outscored LSU. Don't forget they took those 2 points off of LSU at halftime because they miscounted the fouls for the tie. And Tanner then fouls Bright.
Again, that's the kind of contact they were allowing the early part of the game that the officials are not going to allow now. And like you mentioned, it's a good move, just regain control of the game. But LSU has gone away offensively from what they were so effective doing in the first half. That's going inside to Ronald Dupree.
Dan, how about that correctable error at halftime?
Well, there was some confusion. They called both coaches over to center court to talk about this thing, and John Brady started smiling about it. He said, I'm not going to argue with what you called. He said, I agree with it. As a matter of fact, we had that in our scores books, but I wasn't going to say anything. He said, I do have an argument on how this game's being called, and then he went into a different direction with kind of a sheepish smile. He said, it gives me some extra time to get my opinions in, guys.
Well, Jason Heide just picked up his 4th personal foul for Oregon State, and they trail by just 2 to LSU. Bourbon Street in New Orleans, probably one of the most famous streets in all of the world, and it was crowded last night as Miami and Florida set to play in the Nokia Sugar Bowl football game, and LSU and Oregon State playing in the Nokia Sugar Bowl Classic basketball game. Along with Dan McLaughlin, Marcus Johnson, I'm Rod Thulin. 11:52 to play. LSU's lead has been cut to 2. They led by 12 at intermission. From the outside, the 3 for Bright goes, his 4th of the game.
And breaks the tremendous momentum that Oregon State had built up here in the second half with that 3-pointer towards Bright. That's a big-time shot.
Is this the classic climb up the mountain, get to the plateau, can't get over for Oregon State?
And run out of gas, but still a lot of time, enough time to run out of gas and refill and get that second win to finish off strong. So, but you can't expect it for this team that has so much trouble shooting the basketball to shoot that well the entire half.
Tanner with 5 to shoot. He pulls up from NBA range. Rebound being tipped around. Jackson had it, lost it, but Oregon State will have it. Last touch by LSU's Ronald Dupree.
Torres Bright sees that his defender is backed off of him, and he's going to let it fly right there. Nice screen to free him up. Tanner a little slow rotating. He buries it. But Brian Jackson's got to play big. He's in there for Jason Heide. He's got the rebound. He's got to give him some interior scoring, some tough interior defense.
He goes inside. They dished it off. Yes.
Mike Coakley.
Coakley, the smallest man on the floor with the deuce. He has 5 in the ball game. Dupree rebound, strong putback.
Yeah, and it helps to be able to get away with a push. He pushed DeAndre Tanner almost out of bounds to set him up for that offensive rebound, but did it with the lower part of his body so that the officials didn't call it.
15 now for Dupree, and the lead is back up to 5. Steinfeld jump stop to Coakley.
Fans always think that's a travel, but it's not. Just a long jump stop.
And the 3 goes down from Maston.
Yeah, Adam Maston, scoreless in the first half. Getting it started slowly here. Had a bucket going to the basket. Now knocks down a jump shot from the outside.
He has 6 in the ball game. Bashara has been quiet for LSU in the second half. Whistle, and that is a foul against LSU.
Well, Ronald Dupree, his eyes lit up. He had Mike Coakley defending him and just got a little too aggressive trying to establish post-up position inside. But here's good interior passing. Jackson to Tanner to Coakley. And the smallest guy on the floor knocks down the layup. And that's the inside. Then a little bit of outside gravy for Adam Maston. Nice screen by Brian Jackson on the outside. Brian Jackson, again, making himself a factor. Passing the basketball and setting screens.
Bashara just pounding on Jackson, tries to take it away. Jackson keeps it alive. Inside with a right hand, can't get it. Jackson tried to tip it. Dupree still in the game. He has 3 fouls. He was called for that last infraction. 2-point LSU advantage with the basketball.
Where has Brian Bechara been? He had a great first half, played with a lot of confidence. He's got a smaller man, DeAndre Tanner, about 6'2", defending him, but he has not been able to exploit that.
Right, quick stop. Dupree will give him a fresh 35 on the shot clock.
It looks like Oregon State may be a little tired right now because they have played so hard in the second half, but still enough time to get that second win and finish strong, but they've got to maintain the intensity on defense.
Over Tanner, Bechara's shot off the mark. Nice job by Steinthal, making sure he can run Jermaine Williams out of bounds so he wouldn't get the rebound.
Good aggressive block out, but Bechara on that jump shot fading to his right, not shooting the balls, going straight up and down like he was doing in the first half.
Coakley way out front. They're going to be very patient.
Yeah.
They have a chance to tie or take the lead. Jackson sees the double. Bechara comes over. Coakley open. Steinthal back to Coakley. Lets the 3 go. Airballs it. Whistle and an offensive foul is going to be called on Brian Jackson, trying to get position on the inside. That is 2 on him.
And it was a nice bit of passing on the part of Oregon State. They got Mike Coakley the open jumper that he wanted. Just misfired on the play, and then Brian Jackson trying to make something happen on the miss, a little too aggressive going after the offensive rebound.
Well, Bechara out, rolling in. Tanner out for Oregon State. Jimmy Haywood comes back into the lineup.
Yeah, but you know, Coakley's knocked down 6 of 14 3-pointers this year. That's 43%. You see with the team in this half, Oregon State 5 for 9. That's terrific. LSU off quite a bit up until now.
Up until now, contesting the shot, but Temple drains his 3rd 3 of the ball game.
Give them a little bit more of a cushion. Now Jimmy Haywood in the game for DeAndre Tanner's got to run this offense. Called one of the quickest players that Richie McKay has ever coached. But he can't get out of control. He can't force shots up, which he has a tendency to do.
Which he has done at times tonight.
Yep.
Steinthal can't get his shot off the dribble.
There you go.
3. That is a pretty shot.
One Adam 32. One Adam 32. We need a 3-pointer. We need a 3-pointer. Copy.
And then Williams takes one upside the head, and it's a 4-on-3, and they throw it away.
I mean, you've got a 5'8" guy running one wing, a guy about 6'5" Adam Maston running the other. Get it to your bigger ball player. He could have handled that pass. Just not a good decision. Right there, Steinfeld penetration. Maston, 1 Adam 32. 3-pointer needed.
Well, the LSU crowd trying to get their team going again because the lead has been cut down to 2. Just a reminder for most of you watching the Nokia Sugar Bowl basketball tournament, immediately following our game, the National Sports Report. Madden, Millen, and Moss will be talking about the AFC as the playoffs straight ahead beginning on Saturday. Jim Rome will have his takes of the year. Plus, the National Sports Report will take a look back at the year 2000 in the Year in Review Part 3. All coming up on the National Sports Report immediately following the game for most of you watching tonight's contest. Our situation, 7:34 to play in the ball game. LSU leads by 2, 54-52.
And I like this team that Oregon State has on the floor right now for defensive purposes. You got Jimmy Haywood, a bigger player than Mike Coakley, defending out on the perimeter. You got DeAndre Tanner, your leader, back in the ball game. Brian Jackson's done a nice job. And then Adam Maston is starting to heat up. And you know Josh Steinthal can fill it up. They've got a nice complement of offensive firepower and defensive stoppers out there.
Now LSU showing patience. Shot clock at 8. Bright with 5. Lets the 3 go. The second time in a row, he's buried a clutch 3.
Yeah, and nothing you can do about that. Shot clock winding down. He was a good 25, 26 feet away from the basket. And just hits a pressure-packed shot.
That's his 5th 3 of the ball game, and the lead back up to 5. Now LSU extending their defense, picking up the intensity.
Yeah, but not doubling in the post like they had been. They got to stay home on the perimeter.
Jackson fighting his way inside for a well-earned 2.
And Brian Jackson does a nice job recognizing he's got one-on-one coverage, taking the smaller Ronald Dupree to the middle, and then making the difficult shot over it.
First field goal of the second half for Brian Jackson.
That's what happens when you knock down 3-pointers. Now all of a sudden the defense has to respect your outside shooting, and you get some better looks inside.
Dupree inside. Jackson ties him up. They're going to call it a foul.
Wow. Tough call for Brian Jackson.
That's his third.
Got him with the body, but made a beautiful play up top. And then here's Taurus Bright from long range. See, Steinthal is right there. You see the shot clock down to about 4. But Bright does a nice job. He gets good elevation on his jump shot. Gives him a nice, clean look at the basket.
At the line, it will be Dupree. 15 points in the ball game. This is the free throw. He'll have another. As Jason Heide will come back in, they're going to give Brian Jackson a little bit of rest. Heide playing with 4 personal fouls.
But Brian Jackson did a nice job. I mean, didn't force a lot of stuff. Made that last basket through a nice pass that led to a pass from Tanner to Coakley for a layup. Played some solid defense. Was aggressive going after offensive rebounds.
And Dupree misses both. Gets the ball back.
The carelessness on the part of Jason Heide, the rebound, and then not aware that there are other players on the court. You're not alone out there, son. Cover up the basketball.
Those are the that separate teams in close games.
Yep, just relaxed after securing the rebound.
Now Haywood all over Bright. Bright works off the pick, gives it up to Dupree with 10.
I like the way Ronald Dupree snakes his way along the baseline, and once he's in the paint, it's a dunk. If there's no body contact on him, he's going up to jam that thing through.
He has that little hesitation, waiting for the defense to commit, and then he goes the other way. Right on Tanner. Finds the opening, left hand, the spin goes.
I like the aggressiveness offensively of DeAndre Tanner. He had not shown that at all in the first half, just on maybe 1 or 2 plays, but this second half he has been a completely different player. He's taken it to the hole, shooting his three-pointer, playing tough D.
18 points for Tanner, 11 in the second half.
Representing the Wood extremely well here in the second half. That's Inglewood for all of you.
Not from California.
Not from California.
Straight to the hole, uncontested. Collis Temple III again.
You know, for a smart guy, he's a pretty good basketball player.
That's good. He has 14 in the ball game. Yeah, go ahead and tell Casey Jacobson that at Stanford, huh?
Shane Battier.
Yeah, Shane Battier.
A lot of guys.
Steinthal's 3 won't find the mark, and LSU, Jason Heide takes it away from him. Then he has it stripped, but he's fouled by Temple. And that'll be his second.
Yeah, anything you can do, I can do better. He got the basketball stripped from behind after a defensive rebound. And he does the same thing at his offensive rebound again.
Ronald Dupree has led LSU in scoring 4 games this year.
Well, here Bright got to get caught in the air, bailed out by Dupree, then just a little bit of a hook, a little bit of a chicken wing to get around the defender, and then just explodes up for the dunk.
Heide makes the first. He has 7 in the ball game. He's their leading scorer at 13.6 a game. Jackson will come back in. Steinthal will go out for Oregon State.
And this should shore up some of their defensive rebounding troubles for Oregon State. Also give them another big body to hit the offensive glass.
You can see what they've done the last 11 minutes and 58 seconds, just about 12 minutes more than they did the first 23 minutes of the game.
And Richie McKay has got to be extremely pleased. This was an anemic offense the last 5 games, but they have come alive here in the second half, and this is something, whatever happens in this game, win or lose, that they can build on. This is a tough LSU defensive basketball team they're scoring against.
One of the things they've done well, they've been hanging with them on rebounding.
Yeah, they have. But a 1-3-1 zone defense by Oregon State.
Oh, Temple gets behind the defense.
Don't see that a whole lot, and that's the reason why, because you are naked on the back line unless you get quick and smart rotations. They got neither on that play.
16 for Temple. The lead is at 5. Heide looked for a